Hello, it's Stephanie Washer again. We're doing another series on this. So it's switch port security this time. And they just kind of happen to go in order of how you would do it through the class or in the hands-on final possibly. So we're going to do switch port security. And it's just going to be real brief, real quick. So on switch port security, we're not going to worry about VLANs or anything right now. We're just going to worry about the ports itself. And this one is switch 1. You do want to look at, we have access port on port 6 on switch 1, and then we have the access port on port 18. So between switches, we're not going to do any kind of port security between the trunk. So any of these other ones, port 1, port 2, and port 5, we are not going to do port security, but anything that's an access that is actually plugged into something, we can do port security. So we can either manually configure it, we can dynamically learn it, and then we can do what's called dynamically learned sticky, where it will dynamically learn it and then it will remember that MAC address. So here I'll show you what I mean. And let's bring the notepad document back up. I'm going to make it smaller so it doesn't. All right. Put it up here like this. Okay, so now let's go into switch 1. I know I did all that just so that it would go behind again, right? Okay. We're into switch 1 now. It's all in... I typed in the wrong one. It's all in global config mode again. Well, we're going to go into the interface itself. So we got to go in global config, and then we have to go into, this is switch 1, so we have to go to interface fast Ethernet 06. And we're going to type in switch port security. Switch port security. If we were to do switch port security with a question mark, it would say we can do aging, we can actually put in a specific MAC address. So if you wanted to do it statically, manually configure that, we would do switch port security, and then we would put MAC address, and then we would actually find the MAC address of the PC and type that in there. I'm not going to do that today. We can do maximum, which is what I kind of want to do today. We're going to do a maximum of 3 MAC addresses. So we're going to do maximum, 3. So switch port security maximum 3. That is our maximum of 3 MAC addresses. So we're going to allow 3 MAC addresses. And you can set the violation mode. And then you could also do switch port security sticky, where you'll enable sticky learning and it will learn your MAC addresses and it will stick them to the running configuration. What else is there on that? I think if you wanted to see, we set this, we do Control Z, we can do switch show port security interface F0/6. And that is how we would see the port security. And we can see that it's enabled, it is secure and up, violation mode is shut down. So by default, violation is shut down. So if we reached a violation, we would have to go back in and do a no shut on that interface. And we have a maximum of 3 MAC addresses. So that is what we want. If you're a person like me at somewhere and you take your PC and you use your laptop and you use other devices, you plug it into the network, you might violate that pretty quick. But it's good for the network to keep a minimum of MAC addresses per port. So, and the other 2 notes I had is if we do a show run, I'll show you what that looks like as well. We've got all our, so this is just our whole command list from our previous configurations, but we're going to go to port 6. That's the one we want to look at. Port 6. So we have our switch port mode access VLAN 20. We have switch port mode access, or switch port access VLAN 20, switch port mode access, switch port security, and switch port security maximum 3. So those are the commands that we have on here so far. For port security, you have the specific port security items that you can add in, but other security measures on a switch that you want to do is you want to shut down all unused ports. So we did that in the previous video, shut down all unused ports and then make all unused ports access ports. So those are some of the other items that you want to do. It's very important, and it's very important to remember gigabit Ethernet 01 and 02. You don't want somebody, if somebody breaks into your server closet, you don't want somebody to be able to just plug into a port and go. It's just not a good idea. So that is port security. It's all done. Didn't take very long now, did it? All right, so now we can work on going into switch 2. So we got to do port security on switch 2. Can't just stop at switch 1. And we're going to go in. So switch 2 would be 18. And this will be real quick and easy because all I'm going to do is the port security for that. Oops. And we're going to go into global config mode. And we know we have to go in port 18. So I'm going to copy this. We're going to do the exact same thing, only for port 18. So I'm going to copy and we're going to paste. And it is done. That was nice and quick. We're going to Control Z, show run. Go through. We're going to double check port 18. Okay. Every port we don't need is shut down. Switch and put to switch port mode access. And our port security is set. So we're done. We can do show, and we can do our show command here. Port security interface F0//18. There we go. It's up. Violation mode shut down. We have 3 MAC addresses. We're good to go. It is set. And we can copy, run, start, write to memory. So we are done. So if you have any questions, you can email me at s.washer@rockvalleycollege.edu, or you can message me on Netacad, which really is the best way to message me on Netacad. And have a great day.